I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
Okay.
So if they ask you how I feel,
What's up?
I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been. So if they ask you how I feel,
What's up?
I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
I am.
So if they ask you how I feel,
What's up?
I'ma tell you I feel amazing. I feel blessed, that's evident. I'm the best I've ever been.
That's right.
So if they ask you how I feel, I'ma tell you I feel amazing.
Good afternoon, good people. How y'all doing today on this Wednesday, August 6, 2025? Hope you're having a great Wednesday. I'm having a good Wednesday. My co-host, he's not here right now. We'll see if he gets here at any time during the show. But the Playmaker's in the building, Bearing Down the Gridiron, episode 2 for season 4. And y'all see the title. The Southeastern Conference. Most people will say the best conference in college football, but there's another conference that will say otherwise. But today is all about the Southeastern Conference. Looking forward to previewing this, going through that, making our picks. So who we think is going to win the Southeastern Conference in 2025 and how that compares to what we picked from the Big 12 last week. So as we continue to go through and go on, we'll be picking conference champions and filling out our playoff bracket and see how that works out. Nevertheless, I'm here. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching us live on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that anytime we go live, anytime we post any videos of our shows here at the Playmakers blog, you'll be able to get that notification and jump in and see it right away. Also, if those of you who will be listening to the audio form of this, it'll be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and wherever else you can find podcasts. All right. Now we got the pleasantries out the way. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And we are going with the No Huddle. And as we jump right into the No Huddle, College Sports Commissioner loosens prohibition on NIL payments. The College Football Commissioner has loosened its blank prohibition on athletes receiving payments from NIL collections, according to a memo the new enforcement agency sent to athletic directors Thursday morning. The collectives and the involving industry built to funnel money to athletes at a particular school will still face significant more scrutiny when trying to sign deals with players than they had in the past years. Thursday's memo from the CSC, which preserves guidance it issued 3 weeks ago, ends the first notable scuffle under the industry's new enforcement structure without needing to return to a courtroom. However, it provides more of a punt than a definite answer to an essential question for the future of how college sports will function. Will wealthy teams and their boosters be able to game the system designed to create competitive balance? I don't know what to say about this. I really don't. Because you're trying to basically, you want to play players. You want to make the game competitive. But NCAA don't know which way they want to go. Then you got President Trump, as we talked about last week. He's signing an order to try to put a stranglehold on this outrage of NILs and college salaries, stuff like that. Now you got the College Sports Commissioner loosening prohibition on the NIL payment. So it's getting very, very interesting how this goes. But maybe when I get to another article down the road here, we might be able to tie the two together as I welcome in the co-host, Cole Johnson. How you doing, sir?
Doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Now I want to know who are these greedy so-and-sos doing now?
The College Sports Commissioner, he's loosening the prohibition on the NIL payments.
Oh, they found a way to make money on it. Oh man.
But we might have something else to talk about later on in this segment. So.
Okay, so all right, so NCAA they found a way to make money on these athletes. Okay, all right.
Let's move on to our next one. Stanford has hired former Nike CEO John Duho as the athletic director.
Again,
Stanford,
money. I'm sorry.
yeah. Stanford has hired former Nike CEO John Duho as the school's new athletic director. The university announced Thursday. Duho, 65, will arrive in the collegiate athletic director space with a vast amount of business experience, as Stanford officials view him as, quote, unicorn candidate, close quote, because of both his business ties and history at the school. Stanford converted a non-traditional candidate for the role. This hire delivers a seasoned CEO with a stint at Nike, Brandon Company, and eBay. He also served as the board chair at PayPal.
So they bypassed our Andrew Luck to be AD. That's interesting.
I mean, he's the general manager. So.
No, I know, but still they bypassed him.
He might have something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Stanford want that money. I understand.
And they went and they grabbed somebody from Morgan to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How convenient.
How very convenient.
Iowa State and Matt Campbell agreed to an extension to 2032.
Congratulations, Matt. I
Iowa
hope the money of the bag is good.
We'll see. Iowa State and coach Matt Campbell has finalized a contract extension through 2032 after the winningest coach in program history led the Cyclones to their first ever 11-win seasons in 2024. Campbell will earn $5 million per year in total compensation, according to a copy of the contract obtained by ESPN on Friday. The three-time Big 12 Coach of the Year honoree took a discount on the deal, sources told ESPN, to ensure that his staff salary pool increased and to allow Iowa State to, accommodate an additional $1 million in revenue sharing to the football roster.
These programs are not liking the fact they got a lot of money for these players. They're not liking it at all. I love it. I love it.
The man got a contract and he said, you know what? I'm taking a discount. You put some of that into the NIL program so we can get these players.
I love it. I love it. That made thank you, Playmaker. That made me smile.
Well, this finna make you smile too.
What I tell you. What I tell you. I'm sorry. Let me set the story. I'm sorry, sir.
Florida quarterback DJ Larry returns to practice after calf injury. This was 4 days ago. Florida quarterback DJ Larry practiced Saturday for the first time since camp opened, a sign of progression for the highly touted and oft-injured sophomore. Yeah, and that's exactly what they put in the article. That was not me taking a shot. Larry is dealing with a strained calf and was expected to take limited practice reps. He wore a sleeve on his legs, the same one that caused him to miss a game and a half last season. He strained a hamstring against rival Georgia, missed the following week game at Texas. Coach Billy Napier has offered no timetable on his star player's return. It's the latest injury issue for Latway, who missed spring practice with a shoulder injury after undergoing Spurt's hernia surgery.
I told you this was just temporary, man.
Reading that article did not help me one bit.
I told you this was temporary. You had this sky is falling attitude about Lagway being gone.
Hamstring injury.
And
Reason why Georgia was able to escape us.
okay, so that's November. And
Well, if he played or not, I don't think we would have had a chance against Texas anyway. So
okay, so that's November.
sports
Nine
hernia
months.
surgery.
Okay, off season. So probably 6 months, 7 months ago. Okay.
Spring. There's not that.
Okay, spring. Okay, 3 to 6 months ago.
And now you have a calf strain. And what have we been seeing that happens with people that get calf strain injuries lately?
Hey, this ain't basketball.
It ain't. It's football. It's more physical.
But this ain't basketball because I know where you're going with this. If you have calf injuries and if you're susceptible to them, you might be susceptible to an Achilles heel injury, and you might tear the thing. Is that what I believe that's where you're going, correct, sir?
Yes, that's exactly where I was going.
This ain't basketball.
It can happen in football too. We've seen it happen.
I know it can happen in football, but don't write off the young man yet.
I'm not writing him off. I'm concerned. He's been injured.
I know he's been oft injured. That's understandable, but it doesn't mean he will be unable to contribute. Last week, you thought he was going to be wheeled off as if you had to put a body cast on him. Now, here we are this week, and he's now practicing.
And wrap him in bubble wrap until the end of August. How about that?
Wrap him in bubble wrap. Oh my gosh. Are you saying he is that fragile? Are you saying his fragility is that much to where he has to be wrapped in bubble wrap?
Okay, I give you this. He did finish the season.
Thank you. Give the man props. I mean, he's only 19? I mean, he's growing into his body.
But man, it's some. We'll get to Florida and when we talk SEC.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Whoo! Do you want to bring in some morning shift for this one?
All right, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick.
I think I should pass this one off to you. I think this is a good spot to bring the morning shift in.
Oh my. Okay, so it appears that the former Tennessee Volunteers head coach, Derek Dooley, he's going to be running for the Senate in the state of Georgia. Well, the former University of Tennessee football head coach announced on Monday his 2026 Republican bid for the U.S. Senate in the Peach State against Democrat incumbent Jon Ossoff. Now, the 57-year-old is backed by the governor of the state, Brian Kemp, and he has been teasing a bid ever since June. Now, Kemp has turned to Dooley after deciding not to run for the Senate's most vulnerable Democrat incumbent seeking re-election next year. And Dooley said in a 2-minute launch video, quote, "Professional politicians like Jon Ossoff are the problem. Lawlessness, open season on the border, inflation else everywhere, woke stuff. That's what they represent. We need new leadership in Georgia. That's why I'm running for Senate." Close quote. Now, Kemp and the president of the United States, Donald Trump, they have met and said they would try and agree on a preferred candidate. Anyone anointed by both would be stamped as the Republican frontrunner. Now, Dooley has never held elective office before, and he says he will run as a political outsider, pledging to bring, quote, "good old-fashioned Georgia common sense, along with work with President Trump, fight for you, and always put Georgia first," close quote. Now, Dooley, of course, is the son of the legendary University of Georgia head coach Vince Dooley, and he was a lawyer before he went into coaching. Now, he would be far from the first coach to ever run for office. Of course, we all know Tommy Tuberville, the former Auburn head coach. He was elected to the Senate 5 years ago, and he did it from Alabama. Now he's running for governor of the state. And then you have Tom Osborne, the legendary University of Nebraska head coach, he served 3 terms in the House of Representatives. Now, Dooley walked on at the University of Virginia. He earned a scholarship as a wide receiver. He earned a law degree from the University of Georgia and briefly practiced law in Atlanta before working his way up the college ladder, becoming head coach for 3 years at Louisiana Tech before landing at Rocky Top. Your thoughts, sir?
Good luck to you.
Really, that's it? That's all you have to say? I put forth all of that information, and all you have to say is good luck to you?
We both know between you and me, you're the more political one than me.
Oh, my gosh. Fine. I did not want to hog the whole thing, but I wanted to give you an opportunity. Okay, so.
Hey, what you want me to say? He's running for the state of Georgia. I do like the fact that he did play on a rivalry in Georgia. Old-fashioned common sense.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I get why he's running. I get, and it's a state where. All right, this is the interesting part. So, I know this is not really football talk, but bear with me here. Georgia is basically governed by 2 different entities. You have Atlanta, which the metropolitan area has about roughly 5 million people there. And then there's the rest of the state. So Atlanta is mostly Democrat. The rest of the state is mostly Republican. So you have that tug, you have that push and pull. And we saw that in the race between Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. I think that was in 2024. So, or 2023. So, yeah, 2024, I'm sorry. So you saw that dynamic play out where Warnock beat Walker in a runoff. So this isn't a slam dunk per se, but if you're going to run in Georgia, you'd probably be better served as a Republican. So this probably is a good move if he's going to dip his toe into the political arena and do it in Georgia. And his chance to be a senator in Washington, it stands a chance to be pretty good, especially if Kemp and Trump are going to back them. And if he gets that push, then more than likely you might see him in Washington come January. But word to the wise, Mr. Dooley, Washington is not good old Rocky Top. Know that. And know that well.
I'm not a political person, but man, I did have a question.
And your question is?
Why do you got to say that the man is the most vulnerable Democrat?
Okay. So, all right. So
like that man has no chance.
Okay. So how the political landscape is for the U.S. Senate seats. So each state has 2 senators from not the state senators. I'm talking U.S. senators. They have 2 seats. Now, the one seat that they have is Raphael Warnock. Now he replaced. I forgot who he replaced. He replaced a senator who was outgoing, and then a couple of years later, he had to run against Herschel Walker and beat him in an open election. So that's why they say this is the more vulnerable seat. It could be considered a slight and an insult, and yeah, to say Senator Ossoff is the weaker Democrat candidate, I can understand that. But they would have to wait another 4 years to unseat Warnock, and he already beat a Republican in Georgia. So that is why Dooley said that the incumbent is the more a vulnerable and weaker option of the 2.
All right. Good luck to you, Billy. I hope Georgia loves you. But
you are absolutely atrocious. Lord.
What? What did I do?
Okay. I know that Georgia is the biggest rival of Florida. So I understand that from your aspect, anything that comes from Georgia, especially him, since he actually went to the University of Georgia. You being Mr. Florida Gator, you would want to have birds crap on one Mr. Dooley.
I said good luck. That's all I said.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Lord. And he wanted to bring that story up to me.
No, I didn't. It was on ESPN. What you want me to do? That was like literally. I went to ESPN, clicked on the college football tab, and all the news that popped up. Guess what was in the news? That I'm like, well, all right.
I know it was there, and I know it's news. I get that, but you just had this look like I really don't want to talk about this.
I was like, you know what? This might be a way to bring in the morning shift. Go figure.
Go figure. Well, thank you. But wow, why go figure?
But if you thought I was done, I'm not.
I figured you weren't.
NCAA revamps governance policy to expand influence of big conferences.
Okay, so when you say influence, what do you mean? I get what you're saying, but elaborate further.
Well, thanks to the Associated Press for writing this article yesterday, just before 7 p.m. Major decisions by the NCAA's top decision-making body will need approval from all 4 major conferences or help from a small conference to pass under a set of rules approved Tuesday that are designed to streamline the way business is done by the nation's largest overseer of college athletes.
Oh, you mean small conferences like the Pac-2?
Why the Pac-2 got to catch a stray? The Southeastern Conference, how ironic, has been pushing forward in the other 3 power conferences to receive a 17% voting share on the newly reshaped Division I Board of Directors. So that if one of the 4 conferences disagrees with the proposal, the others could still band together to pass it with 51% of the votes.
So the other 3 big conferences do have an equal share. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Which would be the Big Ten, the ACC, and the ACC. I'm sorry, Big 12. I'm sorry. So that's good to know. Okay.
It says it, but the legislation only increases their voting shares to 16.1% each, which gives each conference power a waylay a policy it doesn't like.
Okay, so this is exactly what I was thinking. College football is now being dictated by the 4 big conferences. And if you aren't on board, more than likely you are. I wish I had the tongue that I used to have, when I was your age, because I would actually say it. But ASSED, out. If you're not the Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, or the ACC,
get your asses out.
You out. Because they control what you just said with those, if they even get voted down, they would control still close to 65% of what college football does. And if it were to be 17%, it's close to 70. Go figure.
Oh, now you want to use it. Why?
How you doing? Why is that Jefe? It's good to see you, man.
Shout out to Will Rise Radio, where you can listen to Bearing Down the Gridiron on the radio station.
That's right.
Led by the head man, Wise Jefe himself.
That's right. It's also the radio home of the BS3 Presents the Morning Shift with Cole Johnson as well. Good to see you, man. Not surprised. I just wanted to know the number because I wanted to see how big of an influence these 4 conferences were going to have. And now that we know, that it's at best 60, 64-ish%, and at worst almost 70. Yeah. Whatever the SEC, the ACC, the Big 10, and the Big 12 want, those 4 conferences will get, and the others are stuck out. They are
And I
stuck.
got
I'm
and
sorry.
I got one more thing to talk about.
They as I heard someone say when playing dominoes, they stuck like Chuck, and the rest of those conferences just got. Finish that sentence.
I can put any number of words you want me to put in there.
Rhyme it.
So I can say they got served.
Am I wrong? Okay, what's the other story, sir?
I got to talk about this, even though it's mainly focused on WWE and NFL Network. But
Well, we just got finished talking about politics, so have at it, sir.
ESPN is set to launch its direct-to-consumer service streaming app on August 21st. For those of you who probably figure out why this is on college football, because even though they got a deal with NFL Network and they came up with a deal, so they struck a deal with NFL Network Monday.
Last week. Yeah, I was say last week. Oh, no, this week. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That
this
was
week.
last week. I thought it was last week.
this
They struck
week.
a deal with them. Okay.
And then you come in Wednesday, they got WWE. Well, darn ESPN.
Yeah, they got that TKO money.
When they say the word right lead in sports, they meant that.
Well, they're going to be that now.
And this is why I'm doing it. And this is why I'm bringing it here.
That mouse is coming for it all. Damn.
As one of the most popular and lucrative cable networks, it continues to charge a high prescribed rate because the thing would be $30, essentially.
Right.
And people are like, I'm not paying for it. See, this is what y'all don't know. Because I'm like, it's not just WWE y'all going to be paying for.
Nope. Boxing, MMA,
NFL,
and probably NFL, NHL, probably NBA
college
for
football,
sure. College football,
college basketball.
yeah, WNBA. So yeah, so many things, a myriad of things. Yeah.
So it basically says within the suite of programming of the new ESPN streaming app will be the other networks properties such as ESPN2, the SEC network, ABC on ESPN programming will also be accessible via the new service. They want to give you, they want to make you pay $30 just for WWE. Like ESPN ain't stupid. They doing something else.
No, because they know if people are only going to plunk down $30 for every PLE, and it's only WWE centric, like, no, it's not worth the money. It's not worth $30. But if they say, oh yeah, you get all this other stuff included, the tune starts to change. Yes, the mouse ain't stupid.
Yeah, and then if they was to include what they are trying to do, Hulu with it, you go from $29.99 to $35.99. So you basically gonna get whatever you get on ESPN, ESPN2, SEC network, you're gonna get on the streaming app, along with the WWE programming, along with something from the NFL, because I think if I remember correctly, they is up to 28 games when this streaming app begins.
Yeah. And then you have the Texas Football Network. So how interesting with that?
This is what, see, people was quick to like, I ain't paying $30. It gotta be more than just WWE. Let me look at this, because it's got to be more than just WWE.
Oh, when I saw the price tag, I knew it was more than that, because I mean, with Peacock, you can, well, currently, I mean, you can watch WWE stuff and pay all of Peacock, and it's like what, at the least $8, $9. So of course, if that price tag was just for WWE, yeah, you'd have so many people who are fans of the product. Three of us, since Wise is this conversation too included, we're like, no, I'm checking out. Deuces. I ain't not gonna pay those $30. And why it says that is why we need to build our own network. Well, 100%. And I'm looking forward to how that shakes out because we got some really good talent coming up.
That's why I'm like, yeah. Somehow football is part of this because they just struck a deal with the NFL Network before they got WWE. So I'm pretty sure football is involved in this.
Yeah, it's the biggest money making sport right now in North America. So yeah, football has to have and you're in the United States. Yeah, football has to have its big time footprint in it, both NCAA and the NFL. Yeah.
So for $30, it might actually be worth it.
Yeah, if it includes everything else we just named, yes, and more than likely it will.
So the worldwide leader in sports is literally the worldwide leader in sports.
Well, they will become the worldwide leader in sports now. Yeah, and it's not just a slogan. It actually is going to be the truth now. Just as long, ESPN, as you don't revert to how MTV did when they promised it was going to do music videos, and then you went reality TV 15 years into the network. What did I say?
I ain't had nothing to come back with. I ain't had no comeback. What else was it? This? What you want me to sit here and wait for a comeback? I ain't have one. I ain't have one. I'm sorry.
I mean, MTV just celebrated their anniversary, happy 44th anniversary, and I just felt the need that since we
know MTV still exists.
Unfortunately, it still does. I just wanted to warn ESPN: don't fall the way of MTV.
So I haven't looked at MTV in who knows how long. Is the logo still the same?
The logo is still the same.
That man was waiting for me to have a comeback for MTV. Like, I didn't know MTV still exists. I thought MTV was done.
That felt good.
All right. No commercial break. Like last week, we're gonna go straight on. Man, we probably ain't gonna get to a commercial break till the season starts.
Okay.
We probably just gonna go through our conference picks straight with no commercial.
Oh, straight with no chaser. All right, we're good with that.
So last week we did the Big 12, and as you can see, our picks here. Yes, I picked Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. This guy down here went with the BYU Cougars.
All right.
Hold on, why is that a question?
Can I share my giveaway?
Totally,
sure, man. Yes, definitely.
I ain't know you was doing the giveaway.
Yeah, he wrote a book with his nephew, talking about stock options, and yeah, I'm actually going to buy the book, and I'm saying this on air and saying this to you guys. I am going to buy the book because I have been wanting to dip my toe into the stock market, and yeah, I think it would be wonderful to share.
I beat you to the stock market.
Yeah. I that's where you've had a big time jump on me, because when I was your age, I was extremely skeptical of stocks, but I've come around on that logic.
Dang, I didn't think I was going to beat you to the stock market. Yeah, I already got Nike. I got Nike and SoFi.
Oh, you're smart. SoFi?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I get why SoFi.
No, you don't.
SoFi?
You thinking that way, but no, I actually bank with SoFi.
And
that's why I got it. I didn't get it because of the other thing.
SoFi,
so I said, you know what, I might as well, because I like to listen to a lot of motivational videos. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I was like, if I'm going to use it, why not get some shareholders in it? Nike, I love Nike. Yeah. Every shoe I got is Nike.
That's why I get Nike. Yeah, I totally get Nike. Hold on. Shut up, broad. Okay.
You got to let that one go, did you?
Yes, I did.
And then I'm banking with SoFi. And I'm like, let me get a shareholder of SoFi.
I'm not clowning on you doing it. That's smart, actually.
And I actually got both stocks within the SoFi app. So
Yeah, that's really smart.
because SoFi actually allows you to buy stocks. So I'm like, bet.
That's smart of you to do. Yeah, and I'm gonna start doing that. And I have to educate myself more on it because I got to start building wealth in other ways besides just my 401k at the career position I hold. And Wise, yeah, he says, and that is key. And he mentions the key: invest in things you use every day, and it and that makes sense because it pays off. You're not just flushing money down the toilet. You're actually making your money work for you.
Darn. We did politics. We did streaming.
We've done investment tips. Yes.
And now we're doing investment tips. This is a college football show. Anywhere to help the people.
Well, I mean, look, you said you invested SoFi. More than likely, they will have one of these games in SoFi Stadium. So there you go. You see how it ties in beautifully.
He wanted to put the Rams in here in some type of way.
I still didn't mention the Rams.
You mentioned the stadium.
Yes, I mentioned the stadium, but I didn't mention the Rams.
You want to tie it into the professional team some type of way. That was your first thought when I said I got an investment in SoFi. That was the first thing you thought of.
Yes, it was.
SoFi Stadium. I'm like, no.
Yes, it was. And it still is. But I'm glad you banked with them.
No. I was going to go with Ally, but Ally denied me. So I'm like, well, the other option is SoFi did. So go with SoFi.
Smart.
And then going to SoFi, I got a lot of other options. Cool.
Right.
But I know I like how you try to tie it in.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't the reason.
Yeah.
My first option was Ally banking.
All right. Well, I still feel proud of myself. Because you actually mentioned it, not me.
Terrible. You're terrible. You're terrible. You're just terrible.
Why am I terrible?
Everything that I do is not connected to sports, you know.
You know, I know that. But it's fun that a lot of the things you do are connected to sports.
So anything new you hear about me, you think it's connected to sports? No, it's not.
Oh my goodness.
And now Wise want to be funny.
He says, do I get anything for being top fan for the episode?
No, but I do get to jump down Victor's throat next week. Where were you?
He said, Cap. Oh my.
Anyway,
you said
arguably,
we reviewed the Big 12 last week.
Yeah.
And yeah, you think that the Buffaloes are going to win the Big 12, and I think the BYU is going to win it.
I'm still 1-3, so it is what it is.
So now we this week are headed to the SEC land of things.
This should be fun.
It's going to be. I think this will be a fun season.
Are part of the Southeastern Conference.
Yes, our number one teams reside in the SEC. Yes.
And speaking of which, Georgia Bulldogs, your 2024 SEC champions. The Texas Longhorn in their first year made it to the national semifinal game, and Coach Johnson still ain't happy.
No, they shouldn't have made it there.
They did.
They embarrassed themselves by looking like goofies and dummies against the eventual national champion, Ohio State.
You can't be happy that they actually lost to the national champions. At least they lost to the champions. Like, they ain't lose to the runner-up.
No, they almost lost to Arizona State in the round before. And they should have.
Yeah. I think Kenny Denham has finally got over that call.
Oh my gosh.
It was the first year inside the SEC. You made the SEC championship game. You made the national semifinal game. You had a great showing your first year inside the SEC, which is arguably the best conference in the country.
And then they had a second opportunity to beat Georgia and failed. They failed at home, and then they failed in Atlanta.
And you get mad at me about my New York Liberty.
You know, the fact they play in Brooklyn and they get away with calling themselves New York. That's a crying shame.
No, it's not. You're mad because you don't, because I get on my team who actually are champions.
Yes, they're the defending champions, and they're actually the number 2 seed this year.
Who been in existence ever since the league started and finally actually captured the title for once. But your team, first year in the best conference, they got to play for the conference title, and it was in the Final Four of the national title. Final Four.
But they were hot. They were the most hot garbage of the 4. Even Notre Dame looked better. How in the world you make Notre Dame look better than you? How?
Because you played against a pissed off Ohio State team that got tired of hearing about them losing to Michigan.
Well, they're gonna still hear about it this November when they actually go to Ann Arbor. But we aren't talking about the Big Ten.
They beat the. They didn't. You see what they did? Oregon, who was the number 1 team in the country.
They dog walked them. Yeah, they dog walked.
Yeah, they didn't dog walk Texas.
No, but Texas dog walked themselves in that game. I'm like, Lord have mercy. They don't belong in the field of Ohio State. They should have let Arizona State put them out their misery.
And you don't like me getting on the Liberty. Listen to you. Listen to you. Oh my gosh. I wish Koo was here for this. I think Koo even get on you about this. What is wrong with you?
Look, I'm happy that the Longhorns got as far as they did. And yes, in their initial year in the SEC, I can actually say it's wonderful to know that they were the best team, technically, the best team in the SEC in 2024, and they made Oklahoma look horrible. Those are two feathers in the 2 to 3. Those are 2 to 3 feathers I can hang in the cap, and then Texas A&M were hot garbage too.
But you mad that they actually made a national semifinal. They made the Final Four.
They had to cross their fingers, cross their legs, cross their eyes, and hope that Arizona State didn't beat them.
I mean, yeah, targeting penalty did help. Just saying.
Why is that Leffe? Roll Tide. And for those who don't know, that is University of Alabama. I highly doubt he is.
You're an Alabama fan, Wise. I have never heard you talk about Alabama. Then again, you is a New York native, so I haven't heard you talk about Syracuse either. So there's that too.
Well, they ain't gonna talk about no Syracuse.
The mystery of why Hefe, does he really have a college football team? Interesting.
But see, go ahead.
You work with him more than anybody. You don't even know if you got a college team.
We never really talk college football all that much. So
Interesting, Wise. You should have a little tie. Very interesting.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought. We may not talk college football that much, but I know my ace.
Oh, jeez. I've never heard you talk about Alabama.
Wait a minute. I know my ace. I'm like, no, he's not a Royal. He's not a Crimson Tide fan.
Something's off here.
No, that's just his sense of humor.
I know. I was being a detective. I'm like, something's off on this one.
Roll Tide.
Florida Gators finished strong on a 4-game winning streak after getting their ass whipped in Austin, Texas.
And see, you thought that this team was hot garbage last year.
Well, 2 of your favorite coaches decided to come to Gainesville and choke.
Yes, that is true. And that made me happy both times. Yes.
Especially the LSU one, because we actually ended LSU.
Yeah. And,
LSU season literally drowned in the swamp.
and for those who don't know me, look, I was born in New Orleans, so I have a lot of people, a lot of family who root for LSU. I don't hate LSU. My issue is Brian Kelly because I think he's an absolute fraud, and he needs to be found out every single time he takes L's.
And matter of fact, that line that I said, that was his favorite line from that whole show. LSU season literally drowned in the swamp.
Yes, that was
Out of all the places.
yes, that was a beautiful thing. Out of all the places, the one it drowned in one of their biggest rivals' places. It was beautiful, and it should have drowned there.
And then it made it even more better for him because Lane Kiffin decided to come into Gainesville, and he got caught.
I love it. I love the fact Lane Kiffin, people touting this fool, and he has no clue how to really put together a winning football program. Don't give me he has attended bowls. Yeah, I know. But the expectation is national championship contention. He ain't come close.
Okay, now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna speak on behalf of Cole Johnson. If you're not a part of the 12-team playoffs, he can care less of what bowl game you in.
You doggone right. Because what's the point? Okay, fine. You get a big payday. You even might make a New Year's Day bowl game. Fine, cool. But if you're not fighting for a chip, why?
You can be in a part-time bowl. He can care less.
Yes. You can and look good. You can mollywop the team you play in that bowl. But if it's not in that playoff, why should we care?
One of them clips that I took the form the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
I had to listen to you go off about the part-time bowl. That's just funny.
I'm like, good Lord, why are we putting money? Why are we watching this?
He said, the part-time bowl. Really? Like, what, you hate part-tarts? No, in fact, I don't hate part-tarts. But out of all the things, you can call a bowl game.
Yes.
Part-tart.
You call it the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Of all names, of all sponsors you could find, Pop-Tarts is the sponsor that's like, oh yeah, that's the hotness. We'll have them sponsor a bowl game.
That's the most talked about bowl outside the college football playoff too. I think that made it even worse for you.
Like, this ain't the Sighton Jack. Why are we talking about this?
And they had to put Miami and Iowa State in that game too.
I'm like, man, yeah, fine. We'll give both of them a round of applause for having a wonderful season, but basically saying you all weren't good enough to make the playoff. Wonderful.
And you get to eat it, and the winning team get to eat
and the winning team gets to eat Pop-Tarts. It's even better. You get a wonderful sweet treat for winning. The sweet treat that I want to have is on a woman's body, not a doggone pastry.
Ain't nothing wrong with Pop-Tarts, man.
No, it's nothing wrong with Pop-Tarts. Nothing wrong with Pop-Tarts, but I stand by my statement.
Why you don't get on the Sun Bowl then? Sponsored by Kellogg's.
The Sun Bowl?
Yeah.
Because people don't give two about the Sun Bowl. If they play it, when they play it. Sometimes on Christmas Day, sometimes between Christmas and New Year's. And
it's in Arizona, so.
I thought it was in El Paso, but anyway.
Is it in El Paso? It's in a hard part of the country. I know that much.
But yeah, I mean, and it's always between 2 7-6 teams, or 1 7-6 team, 1 8-5 team, or 2 8-5 teams. Who gives a crap? They should be celebrating Christmas and ruining the year that they had. But no, since we got to have 100 bowls, they have to put 2 ridiculous teams in a ridiculous bowl. The Sun Bowl, sponsored by Kellogg's. Why don't you just take the cereal, go home, and eat it there?
I could keep going, but we need to get through this. Maybe another time. Maybe when we get to bowl season, we can fully have him going on a rant because all the bowl games that's coming. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's probably no joke. It's probably about 55 bowls, and I'm not joking. I'm like, you don't need these many games. Jeez, you is some greedy mother college football. Jeez, NCAA, you greedy. I'm sorry. Pop tart.
Speaking of Alabama, they didn't make the playoffs.
Roll.
Why they didn't make the playoffs?
Because they sucked.
Because one, they decided to never lead the game against Vanderbilt.
Well, that was the beginning of their downfall. The fact that they lost here, and
the most egregious one of them all.
I love the fact that the former coach Nick Saban, the day of, said the easiest place on the road to win is in Nashville.
They never led against the Commodores.
Oh my! And then, man, I'm telling you, Nashvillians were lit. They took the goalposts from Commodore Stadium. They marched down West End Avenue, down Broadway, and dumped it in the Cumberland River, causing havoc and traffic everywhere. I mean, you literally would have thought Vanderbilt won the national championship the way you had the student body take the goalposts and walk all the way downtown.
Alabama never led. If you was to go look at that stat, it would say 60.00 Vanderbilt, 0.00 Alabama.
Yeah, because they never led. Yep.
Never led.
I don't even think they even tied either, other than 0-0. So yeah. Never led, never tied.
And then the most egregious one of them all. A trip to Norman, Oklahoma.
That was I don't okay, so I get that the Sooners are the number one rivals of the Longhorns, and I playfully hate the Sooners, but I don't have an intense hate for them. So when they put the Crimson Tide out of their misery, I actually smiled a little bit. I actually did.
You actually did because you knew you was coming on here and there's good content for you.
It was wonderful content.
3 damn points.
That's all they scored, a field goal. And
why everybody else who played Oklahoma?
No, they were
everybody else.
They were dog walking them. They were dog walking Oklahoma. Yeah.
You took your ass to Norman and scored 3 points. 3. So yes, there's some Alabama fans out here. They are looking at Killer the Boy and like, you better be on your ish this year.
All right. So for those who are unaware how Nashville is, so there's a lot of Tennessee fans, University of Tennessee. You don't see the University of Kentucky fans here in the fall. You see them in the winter when college basketball heats up. You do see some Vanderbilt fans, but it's either Tennessee or it's the Crimson and White because they love Alabama here. They love Alabama in Nashville. Love them. So they weren't too happy about last season. Many Nashvillians were not happy about how the Crimson Tide was last year. And yes, they're on killing the boys behind. Memo to Crimson Tide fan. He ain't Nick Saban.
Billy Napier, you on a hot seat too for a different reason. There's actually hype in Gainesville for once.
Well, you said it. They rode a wave of a hot streak at the end. And remember what I was telling you? I was like, look, they're going to break out. They played Georgia close. They play Tennessee close. I mean, took them to overtime in Rocky Top. And I'm like, okay, they're gonna break through, bro. They're gonna break through, and then they ran the table in November. After the L they took to Georgia, but they ran the table after that. Well, I mean, yeah,
they're saying it's gonna be is some hype in Gainesville. There's hype.
Are you talking Steve Spurrier hype?
No,
Okay.
meaning there's hype around this team.
I know. I'm saying Steve Spurrier era hype. Best SEC team, national championship contender. Yeah.
There's some that has contender in it, but there's some that's like we looking forward to this. And yet again, guess who got the number one schedule in the goddamn country? The damn Gators.
You're speaking like a Gator fan. Why? Why, Playmaker? Why? Why are you speaking like a Gator fan?
How much time do we have?
All inquiring minds want to know, why are you speaking like a Gator fan?
So one, we get to go to Miami. So we got to go down to court games.
Okay, so you play Miami early.
But guess what, though? We might can get Carson back for last year because he supposed to have lost last year.
Okay, so you play Miami early, you play Florida State late. All right. And in between, you have Tennessee and Georgia. Okay.
We'll get to Florida State next week. And that monstrosity of a season they had last year.
But for Georgia's but Florida's schedule,
you have Miami, Texas gets to come to the Swamp for the first time ever.
I was going to say, you have Miami to start the season. You have Florida State to end it. You have Tennessee and Georgia in the middle of it.
Why am I going through the schedule for? I got it up here. Oh, I forgot the media polls. Oh, look who's number one.
That's because people are on their knees, they're opening mouths wide, and they're taking Arch Manning schlong and putting it in their mouths.
Number one is Texas.
You heard what I said. Why? And I stand by that statement too.
And the
Joy Juice running out all those writers' mouths, just running it down. Burnt orange and white Joy Juice just running down these writers' mouths. Sucking that joystick dry.
The defending champs are number 2. Followed by Alabama, LSU, South Carolina. Ooh, Florida's number 6.
So they'll sniff us New Year's Bowl. Oh, that's what they think. Okay, cool.
Florida is coming in at number 6. Good gracious.
And they might be on the doorstep to a playoff berth if they're the 6th best team in the SEC.
Ole Miss number 7 and Texas A&M round out the first half. Then you have Tennessee, Oklahoma. Oklahoma number 10.
That does my heart nice. I'd rather the Aggies further down than Oklahoma, but it's great to see Oklahoma at 10. It's great to see Oklahoma. They dominated the Big 12, and now they realize they're little kitties. I love it.
Speaking of kitties, that's what Auburn looked like last year, and they had number 11.
Yes.
Missouri, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Kentucky, and the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
These ain't your Rain Dakota Prescott Florida State Bulldogs.
Mississippi State. Oh, you said Florida State for.
Oh, it's in Mississippi State. I'm sorry. My bad.
What's wrong with you?
My bad. I was thinking of Ron DeSantis and I forgot cowbells.
All right. Key non-conference game from the SEC. Auburn going to Baylor. Syracuse and Tennessee meeting up on August 30th down in the ATL. Game of the week 1. I'm going to spoil that right now. Game of the week 1. Texas at the Horseshoe to take on the reigning defending national champion Ohio State.
And why? It's because Texas will be ranked number 1 and Ohio State will be ranked number 2 when the game is played.
1 versus 2. Have we ever had a 1 versus 2 to open the
This
season.
is the earliest, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not saying it because I'm saying it because I think I've read it. This is the earliest in college football history that the number 1 ranked team and the number 2 ranked team play. Ever. The earliest they've ever played. Who gives a crap about Lane Kiffin? Go Rebels.
Interesting. On the same opening week, Alabama is going to Tallahassee. I'm gonna give Cole Johnson what he wants to hear. Feeling the boy, if you walk out of Tallahassee with an L, I promise you.
Oh, you can get clowned.
I'm going to go off on you.
The board, you're going to get clowned if you walk out of Tallahassee with an L.
You bet not walk out of Tallahassee with an L. I promise you bet not walk out of Tallahassee with an L. Man, you would. Just saying. I need Florida State to start off the year 0-1. It would do me great justice if they start off 0-1. Because them boys are already talking smack about the conference, and they are already talking smack about Alabama. So you might not be Nick Saban, but boy, you bet not. And I do mean you bet not lose to Florida State. Don't lose to Florida State. And while we talking about SEC versus ACC, Death Valley versus Death Valley. LSU is going to Clemson. And that's a primetime game, too. That's going to be very, very interesting for me to watch. Who is the true tiger of Death Valley? I'm pretty sure next year Clemson got to go to LSU, so I'm looking forward to that one.
So you talked about Dallas winning his butt whoop.
Death Valley versus Death Valley. That's going to be very interesting. Who is the tiger of Death Valley? That's going to be very interesting. And then Clemson better be coming to LSU next year, or this is stupid.
Well, let's see. Oh, and who's the head coach of LSU?
Brian Kelly.
Yeah, they're gonna take an L. They're gonna go to Clemson, South Carolina, and they're gonna take an L.
And then that Sunday, August 31st, Virginia Tech, South Carolina, ATL.
Stand up.
You already got 3 SEC versus ACC matchups in week 1. That's that fast.
Boy, the ACC, they want to matter. They want to matter hard. I'm proud of them. They want to go down with a fight.
Out the gate.
Yes, out the gate. They want to go down with the fight, but they're going to go down.
Actually,
but they're going to go down with the fight.
Make that 4 because I forgot Syracuse is part of the ACC too. 4.
Yes, they could go down with a fight, but they're going to go down, though.
What we talked about last week, Kansas going to Missouri, Arizona State going to Mississippi State. Interesting games.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan gets to go to Norman. It's going to be real seeing Amazing
Michigan
Blue in Norman, Oklahoma. That's going to be a real sight.
So Michigan's going to get an early test Saturday after Labor Day. Okay.
Vanderbilt is going to Lane Stadium. I might want to watch that game.
We'll see. We'll see how much of a fight Vanderbilt will put forth in Blacksburg.
Alabama went there to beat the holy hex out of them. Now Wisconsin got to go down to Tuscaloosa. That's not going to end well for them either.
No.
That's not going to end well for them either. So
Why are you just throwing teams on here?
Why is
Why?
it too much for it right now? The
Why?
the
Just
Cole
throwing
Johnson
teams on
game.
here.
It happened in week 1 last season, but it's not week 1 this season. But it's
No.
gonna be in South Bend. A&M visits Notre Dame.
No, the Golden Domers put them out their misery again. Show them in South Bend they don't belong there.
Too bad it ain't week 1 for you like it was last year.
Yeah.
You got to start up the season hot.
Mm-hmm.
September 20th, the aforementioned Florida Miami.
Why do you sound depressed?
Because we can't go down to Miami. We haven't won in Miami.
In a minute. But still, you shouldn't sound depressed. It's a wonderful opportunity. Your quarterback is now back in practice. And you all rode a hot streak at the end of the season. You can start the season. I know this is not week 1, but you can start the season well and have a puncher's chance at Coral Gables.
That will be week 3 too. Man. Arkansas visits Memphis. That's a tricky one.
That's not a far drive.
That's a tricky one right there. Because I don't know what type of team Memphis has. And Arkansas. Arkansas
Sounds aight. Yeah. Yeah, aight.
Tulane is going to Oxford to take on Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
The American champions. Interesting. All right, Lane Kiffin, you got the American champions coming to your building. How you going to fare? Notre Dame is going to Arkansas, which is I found very surprising.
Why?
I have never seen Notre Dame play Arkansas.
Understandable, but
and then you put 2 SEC teams on your schedule.
That's why I was going to comment. It's like 2 SEC schools. Okay, treating them like they only do the Big Ten schools, but they play like 4 of them at any given time during the season, and they have to play 5 ACC schools.
I said, okay, I see you, Marcus Freeman. Y'all not playing. Join a conference.
They need to join a conference.
Otherwise, you still can only get to 5. That's it. You can't get to the top 4 spot.
They need to join. Oh, Lord, wise. Just put all the 16 teams, man. All of them. Goodness gracious.
All the 16 teams.
Go Razorbacks. Look, I get the Golden Domers. They make the most money of any one team in the NCAA. To me, period, because football is the biggest monetary driver. So I get that. I understand that. But there's going to have to come a time, what BYU had to do. There's going to have to come a time where you have to embrace one of these conferences. More than likely to me, it's the Big Ten, but I don't think you want to there because I think you want to recruit everywhere. But the thing is, you can ask some of these big schools. You can ask Texas. You can ask Florida. You can ask Alabama. They recruit well everywhere in the country, and they belong to a conference.
Washington State makes a trip to Oxford. That's a long trip. Goddamn.
Yeah, that's a long trip. And Kiffin beat one of the Big Two. Beat one of the Pac-2. Go ahead, beat them. Beat them.
I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving weekend, ATL, Georgia Tech.
Oh Lord, if we're gonna have
that game in Aston was crazy.
If we're gonna have another 8 overtime game like this in Atlanta,
man, that game was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did say Thanksgiving weekend, so that means Florida State got to come down to the Swamp.
Right.
Kentucky has to go to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And South Carolina coming there. Good old South Carolina. Clemson's going to South Carolina.
Right. I was about to say Clemson's actually going to go to Columbia.
I might like Clemson and down because they're gonna be pissed off with what happened last year. Losing at home to your biggest rivalry. How disappointing.
Stuff happens.
How disappointing, Dabo. But those are the key non-conference games. Let's go to the conference games. And this is where the fun begins. Ole Miss, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, South Carolina.
Wow.
Early September.
Wait. Two of them. Wait a minute. Hold on. Why are we having Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida and LSU early in the season? Why? Normally we see them October, maybe even early November. Why are we doing this in week 3?
So if you notice, Florida goes to Miami on the 20th.
Right.
Where do they go the week before?
They go to LSU. So that's why you're smiling. Baton Rouge on the 13th of September, then Coral Gables on the 20th of September.
I ain't even get to the worst part about this one.
The worst part?
Mm-hmm.
What is the worst part?
That LSU game is in prime time.
Oh, yeah. Under the lights too?
Under
yeah.
the lights.
Oh, yeah. The proverbial LSU home night games. They always say that LSU plays the hardest and play their best under the lights.
I don't think the football gods like me this year. You send my Rams to London instead of Jacksonville.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
And then you put the game against LSU in prime time at Death Valley.
Why is we talking about the Rams?
You wanted to bring them up earlier.
I did not bring them up. I did not mention them.
I said you wanted to. I didn't say you did. I said you wanted to.
I did not mention them by name. I did not say them.
I literally say I was like, do not put LSU in primetime. Do not put LSU in primetime. And sure enough, LSU.
But don't LSU and Florida normally play primetime games? Normally?
No.
I always thought that they actually played primetime.
The last time we played LSU, it was a 3:30 game, and we beat them.
I said most times, not all the time, but most times. Because I know last year it was 3:30, but I thought most times they played primetime games.
You had to put our asses at goddamn 7:30.
Well, be happy.
No, we don't beat them in primetime.
Your team gets a spotlight. Be happy about that.
If it was anywhere else, yes, but not that place.
Oh, Lord.
Death Valley at night. No.
And you play this team every year, so be happy.
We play them every year, and we have never beaten them in LSU under the lights.
Well, there could be a first time for everything. Remember, Brian Kelly coaches the LSU.
Yeah, and they happen to beat Alabama in prime time. Forgot about that one?
No, I have not. I have not forgotten that.
I don't think if you're not a fan of the SEC, I don't think you understand the difficulty of beating that team in that place when it's nighttime. I know Cole Johnson doesn't know because I know when the last time y'all played LSU. Matter of fact.
Well, I mean, I know. I mean, I'm in SEC country. I know, but Texas. I don't think they've ever played LSU at night. I don't think they played, but it's been a long time. But I don't think they played at night.
That is the
not in Baton Rouge. Not in Baton Rouge.
That is the most difficult game that you can have on the road. Usually, other places, no matter what time you go there, if you just go there, you in trouble. Like if you go into the Horseshoe, it doesn't even matter what time you go there, you go into the Horseshoe.
But you should be happy that we have a primetime game for Florida. People were trying to bury this team. They were hot garbage. They were done. They were left for dead, and then they come and resurrect themselves at the end of last year, and now they get to prove that last year, the end of the last year, was not a fluke. And they might surprise you, and they might pull a win out in Baton Rouge.
I might hate September 13th.
Again, Brian Kelly coaches LSU. It's quite possible they may flub.
If there was a new game, yeah, Brian Kelly gonna choke this one away. 3:30 game, there's still about a 75% chance he's gonna choke this one away.
Mm-hmm.
Prime time, that's like a 10% chance.
I see.
Because freaking prime time and LSU, it just mirrors together. It's like a marriage between them two.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to figure out where do y'all get this extra juice from when it's nighttime? You know it'd make it even worse if they come out wearing a damn purple uniform. That'll make it even worse.
Oh, memo to LSU. Don't ever wear those god-awful purple uniforms. They are horrible. They are ridiculous. They are the scourge of the earth. It's as if, I'll put it this way. It's just like the Browns wearing their brown jerseys. But then again, when the Browns wear their brown jerseys, they play like crap. They have to look like crap too.
Do you really don't like them purple jerseys?
No. I love it better when they wear white.
That because everybody's used to them wearing white.
Well,
so when you wear purple is like.
Let me stress it. White top, mustard pants.
You saying you feel the same way about the Cowboys?
Yes, I can't stand it when they. I do not like it when they wear navy blue at home. I think that's god awful and ridiculous. I feel the exact same way about that.
I actually like them purple jerseys. Actually,
they suck. I don't like them. They normally, but I don't think they'll break them out for that game. They normally break them out for the directional schools.
They ain't break them out for primetime games. That's what I'm afraid of. South Carolina, Missouri. Which team wants to make that next step up?
That's a good question.
Only reason why I put Auburn, Oklahoma on here because I want to see if Auburn can do what Alabama couldn't do.
You never know. They might.
Of course, LSU and Ole Miss, the Cole Johnson. Who wants to choke a mobile?
Wait a minute. There's another one. Why did it moving this? I thought this game normally be played in November, and now they inch it to the end.
You do have to remember we added you in Oklahoma to the conference, so the schedule can't be the same. I
know that, Playmaker, but I'm thinking these are some of these games are like, okay, this is something that you normally would. These are rivals, and yes, we in Oxford, September 27th. We'll see which team wants to choke it away sooner. And no matter what, either way, Coach Johnson's coming here firing on whoever lost. Yes, because because they will lose just like last year prime time in Baton Rouge. Mississippi had that game, and Lane Kiffin with some stupid decisions on the sideline. So I'm expecting the same. This time I'm expecting it from Brian Kelly. So there's no what's that week? So after the week after it's September 27th, there's no Coach Johnson's coming having some fire words for whoever lost this game. Yeah, that would be the October 1st episode. But yeah, I'm gonna laugh too. I'm gonna be laughing. Yeah, because these goofies do something stupid in this game to lose it for their team, and then you want to say, well, I would love to have said, well, LSU did a lot to come back and win that game, but it's like I just look at them like, oh Lord, Lane Kiffin, you had to gift wrapped and red carpet the L for yourself and the W for them. Both teams pissed me off. Actually, both coaches pissed me off. And what makes it even more better, Kentucky's at South Carolina. But what makes it even more better, Auburn got to go to Texas A&M. So it's like, how much faith do you have in Auburn to win in College Station? Little. Because I think, because look, I can hate on the Aggies all I want, but that actually is a pretty good team. And I think they want to prove, I think they have something to prove that they are better than Oklahoma and Texas. And I
And
think that's going to be an added extra boost for them.
and every single Alabama fan circled that game for September 27th. That game is circled, and it's circled in red.
That was one of the best games last year. And it was a shame that Georgia came all the way back just for Alabama to, with one play, snatch the lead from them. I still think Georgia's the better team, but the tide is going to come in between the hedges and give the Bulldogs a fight.
And guess what? Right after that game, guess who Alabama plays?
Oh, Tide fans have that game circled in blood, because I know they want. Heck, no, you might have to talk about the coaching staff or the players. The 90,000+ people that's going to be in Tuscaloosa to watch this game want all of Vanderbilt's heads on sticks.
If Vanderbilt comes into Paul Bryant Stadium
and dog walks them again,
oh my gosh,
that will be talked. That'll be talked. That's all I gotta say.
That game will be posted on all sports media. Vanderbilt went into Tuscaloosa and beat the Crimson Tide again
for the second straight year.
Oh,
but this time not in Nashville. Yeah, that would be horrible.
And then Texas comes to the Swamp for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good test. That's gonna be a good test for the Longhorns. And
so you telling me I pretty much have to hope my future quarterback doesn't get injured, while also taking an L.
Yes, and I don't think, of course, last year's game was emblematic of how Florida would be against Texas, because you didn't have that wonderful quarterback of yours. I'm not looking at this game in Gainesville as an automatic W for the Longhorns. I'm not.
Actually, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about Archie Manning versus Florida. Notice I said my future quarterback.
That's Arch Manning, not Archie, but still, because Archie is like 80 years old. That's not a guaranteed W. I don't think we're going to go to Gainesville and it's a
well, you never experienced the Swamp, so I'm pretty sure you can be like, ooh, this is different.
Well, I mean, they'll say the same thing when they go to between the hedges later, but they have the team that can beat Florida. The question is, will they have the stones to do it?
Yep. Also, Kentucky at Georgia, always a good one.
Well, Georgia should.
And
Georgia
then
Kentucky.
The oldest rivalry the very next week with Georgia.
Yeah, the Deep South's oldest rivalry. I don't know. I feel a way about this game being so early in the year.
South Carolina to LSU, and then Cole Johnson goes from hate Florida to cheering from Florida.
Yes, because I do want them to dog walk A&M in College Station. Unfortunately, I don't think they will, but I'm rooting for them to dog walk them.
Only 7 days after he is done hating on Florida, because they play in Texas, he's going to be cheering like crazy for him.
Yes, I'm gonna cheer. Yeah, I'm gonna cheer as madly as I am going to boo them the week before. Yes.
Alabama's going to Missouri. That's a tricky spot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, speaking of Texas, it is the game on the schedule for Texas.
Yeah, this is the number one game on the schedule for the year. Oklahoma is not quite ready. They're not quite ready for prime time yet. And Texas, their motivation is the playoff game. The
I would
playoff.
like
The
it
playoff.
would be nice
That's
to
the
have
one
a
to make.
game in prime time, but for some reason y'all love a noon kickoff.
It's always a noon kickoff. That's traditional. That is just that's how they traditionally roll. Noon kickoff.
And
But
then we get to October 18th, the third Saturday in October. You know what that means?
Tennessee and Alabama hook up yet again.
And Tuscaloosa.
And that's what I'm talking about. Now, this is when the game normally is supposed to be played, and that, well, they allowed, the SEC allowed 2 more teams, your team in Oklahoma, to come in. They had to change the schedule. They ain't changed that,
I think both of them schools said no, we're not changing that game.
and they should have. That, I mean, traditionally, that's where that game is been played. They should. Third Saturday in October, Tennessee and Alabama play. Beautiful.
The battle of the Tigers. Which Tiger doesn't want to suck?
Yeah. Which SEC Tiger doesn't want to suck?
The game Cole Johnson is going to be circling just because of Lane Kiffin and his history with Georgia.
Yeah. I'm smelling the L. I'm smelling the only thing is I want to see how he leads this team to an L between the hedges. Because I know an L is coming.
You guys get to go to Kentucky. That's not a fun spot to go to either.
It may not be a fun spot, but I mean, let's be.
Y'all should win. But I'm gonna tell you this: you should win, but you might get around 10 points.
Let's get this straight. Yes, and I realized that they played Georgia tough in Lexington last year before taking an L, but let's be real. And I know a couple of Kentucky University of Kentucky fans. Shout out to you all in Cat Talk Wednesdays on you can watch at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the BS3 network. Does any team have fear coursing through their veins going to Lexington for a football game? No. Basketball's a different story. Football, no. And I'm not saying Kentucky's horrible, but they've not. Oh Lord. Why are you going trolling? Arch Manning's the best player in college football, and then go Wildcats when we're talking about Kentucky. Lord have mercy.
He is coming for you, sir. He's coming for you.
You might as well say F Boston on here. Anyway.
Don't tell him that. Should you be afraid of Kentucky? No, I'm just giving Cole Johnson a warning that you might think you see the name Kentucky and like, oh, there's a good.
I don't take
that team there.
I do not take Kentucky lightly either. But I do not see them losing to them either. I don't take them lightly, but
I say y'all might win by 10.
But Texas needs to take them seriously.
Y'all might win by 10 because team Mark Stoops had I don't know what it is, but Mark Stoops had that team ready to play.
They need to come with a big time effort. And they need to treat Kentucky like they are playing Alabama or Georgia. They have to treat them that way. Otherwise, they will probably walk out with an L. But I don't see them doing that. I don't see Texas walking out with an L in Lexington. But they got to respect them because they're going to come. Kentucky is going to use Texas as a measuring stick.
LSU is coming to Vanderbilt. I mean, LSU is coming to Nashville.
Yeah.
That might be a game Cole Johnson might want to attend in person just to see if Brian Kelly actually chokes in front of him.
I don't think he will this game. Although this was around the same time when Alabama choked, but I don't think they will.
See, this is your fault, sir. This is your fault. This is your fault.
FUBC, Boston College, BU, Boston University, UMass, and Harvard.
That is your fault. You just had to say that, didn't you? You just had to put him. You just had to put that in his head. And sure enough, 90 seconds later, there it is.
I needed that laugh so bad.
Jeez.
Thank you, Wise. I needed that laugh so bad. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
He took FU balls and he did a college version.
Whoa, that was beautiful.
Well, yeah, October 25th.
We heard, yes, October 25th.
Tennessee at Kentucky. Texas A&M goes to Death Valley.
And even that game's pushed early. Wow. I mean, they used to play late in the year, and now they're playing in late October. Man, okay.
Alabama's at South Carolina. And then we turn the calendar to November.
Well, who
South
gives a crap about
Carolina at
Ole
Ole
Miss?
Miss.
Who gives a crap about Ole Miss?
And then the aforementioned world largest cocktail party.
Cocktail party. I have not heard it referenced that
Because
in about 15
they don't want to
years.
say cocktail. That's the problem.
I know why. It's because of that, but still, yeah.
I
love the nickname.
I don't know what's wrong with saying cocktail.
I've loved the name, World's Largest Cocktail Party. I've always loved that name.
I don't know what's wrong with saying cocktail party. But
Well, I mean, but Oklahoma, Texas went through it too. They didn't want to have it called Red River Shootout any longer. But
yeah,
I
that's
think
why
we get
the
why.
Oklahoma State rivalry is no longer called the Civil War. It's called the Oregon Classic.
Oregon Classic.
And then the week after, November 8th, which should be a special day, but as special of a day it can be when it comes to football. For some reason, it doesn't feel as special.
Why? Why doesn't it feel as special?
I have Florida going to Kentucky.
Okay.
Out of all the games, if you was to pick a game that you might say Florida should win, and they're probably in the lose, it'll probably be that one. And it would have to be on November 8th out of all goddamn days.
Oh, so you're fearing a trap game in Lexington for your Gators? Okay. I think they'll probably have a close game. I think they'll.
November 8th is my birthday.
Well, happy birthday 3 months from now. But I think the Gators will probably eke out a W there.
They better. Because when the Rams played on just a couple of hours before my birthday, they decided to get mollywopped by the Tennessee Titans out of all teams.
Beat them bad.
No, they got mollywopped by this. That's this Sunday night game. The year that we won the Super Bowl, that was the Sunday night game where everybody was done finding out how Tennessee just dominated the Rams.
Yeah.
I'm like, and it had to happen right before my birthday. You gotta be kidding me. Now I got my Gators on my birthday. And they on the road. Good gracious.
Mm-hmm.
And it was going to Missouri. That might be a nice gift for Cole Johnson because going to Columbia, Missouri is not fun.
Go Mizzou. No, it's not. Go Mizzou.
Oh, the game that Cole Johnson really circled. And he circled it orange and red.
And see, and this is the game where the Longhorns need to put forth their best effort all year because they need to send a message to Georgia that they are coming. And you could say, well, that was last year. Well, I mean, the Bulldogs dog walked the Longhorns, beat them by 15 in Austin. And then, they went to overtime when they had the SEC championship. But it just
lost to a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's what makes it even worse. And lost to a backup quarterback to boot. So,
bleep you wise.
Ain't nobody ask about the Rams. This is college football.
We were talking about my birthday, so all right.
Oh my. But this is a game where they have to go between the hedges and announce to Georgia, we are coming. If not, we are here. And if they do have the number one ranking all the way into this point, they must be Georgia. And they must send that message and saying, okay, if we see you all in about 3 weeks' time, another dog walking will happen about 50 miles southeast. It's 50 miles southwest.
If somebody was to ask Cole Johnson what would be the perfect weekend for him when it comes to college football, it'll be November 15th. Texas walks in over the hedges and beats Georgia. He only cares about 1 point on the last second field goal. He don't even care.
I don't give a crap just as long.
Lane Kiffin do what he did last year against Florida, but he do it in Oxford this time.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
And then South Carolina, for some odd reason, decided to go to College Station and beat their Aggies. That'd be the perfect weekend for Cole Johnson.
Thank you, Wise. And he says that was last year. I get that too, but Texas is the number one ranked school. So if in the country, so say they actually do go to the Horseshoe and they beat Ohio State, more than likely they'll be carrying that number one ranking all the way until November 15th. So they have to treat this game as a playoff game. They have to treat it as a playoff game. And as for Florida, please go to Oxford and whip Lane Kiffin. And Gamecocks, screw A&M.
So that would be Cole Johnson's perfect weekend for the show.
Yes. And yes, no Jackson Dart this year because he is playing for your Giants, Mr. Wiselefe. And
then November 22nd, Tennessee comes to the Swamp.
Okay. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Time out. This game normally is on the third weekend in September. Why they moved it all the way to November? Why?
That's what they did.
These suckers are messing the schedule up. This is normally an early season test. They normally play Tennessee,
20th.
Florida.
September 20th is what you're talking about?
Yeah, I would say, well, since they know I start the season even earlier, they probably even schedule on the 13th, but normally it would be the 20th of September. This is normally when you have this game, probably around the third week in September. Why are we seeing this on the fourth Saturday in November? Now, I always love this game anyway, because it's always exciting when you see these two teams play, no matter where it is. But normally it's a September game. It's strange to see this in November.
Yep, Kentucky and Vanderbilt. And then you go down to going to rivalry week. And we got y'all on them. When do y'all ever play a Friday game?
This is the only time they would play a Friday game.
Why this game's on a Friday?
Because okay, for those who don't know the Texas A&M rivalry tradition, it used to be Thanksgiving night, like the Egg Bowl. I'm sorry, Mississippi State. And I'm surprised you didn't even have that on the schedule, but I know you know when they play. Anyway, they used to play
Mississippi State. We're talking about. That's
True.
why.
No, I got why you didn't, but they would normally play Thanksgiving night. That's when they normally used to play, and then right about 1988, 89, they decided, why don't we move this game to Friday? And then they would play. And then you talked about the start of the Red River rivalry. They would start these games local time. I'm talking about. They would start these games at 10:30. And I'm thinking, this is too early to watch a game. It would be, but they would have it. They would have it start 10:30 or 11 a.m. every Friday after Thanksgiving. This is, of course, until they decided to say we don't want to play anymore, and A&M bolted for the SEC, leaving Texas in the Big 12. So that's why they scheduled it on Friday instead of, it used to be Thanksgiving night.
And then the actual Saturday of Thanksgiving weekend, the Iron Bowl. LSU goes to no more Oklahoma. That's interesting.
It's interesting that they now have these two teams end the year against each other, because they last year ended against each other. That I found that to be interesting.
And then Vanderbilt and Tennessee.
Now, I want to throw a little shade toward Auburn, Alabama. Normally, well, no, I will say it. With the other 49, no, I'll take it back. With the other 47 states, we basically say who cares, but probably Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia, and Alabama are pretty much glued to the tube with this one, because it's so interesting to see this. It's so interesting to see this Hatfield and McCoy's battle.
So those are your key conference games, and now the moment y'all been waiting for. I want to see how Cole Johnson's going to go when I show this slide. You ready?
Unveil it, please. So you lied. You lied. You lied. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
I never told you who I was picking. So how did I lie?
No,
I
you
didn't.
did. No, you
I
did.
didn't.
You did. You did. You lied.
I asked you who you picking. I ain't
No,
never said who I was picking.
you asked who I picked, but you also told me who you picked. So you
No, I
lied.
didn't.
No, you didn't. That's a bold-faced lie. Bold-faced lie. And how dare you pick the Longhorns at the bold-faced lying to me?
Well, I told you I was picking.
Playmaker? How dare you? Playmaker, that's cold, bro. That's cold.
Who did I tell you I was picking?
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we normally have these wonderful talks before the show, and we talked about who we were going to be picking for the SEC. And so here's the conversation. Quote from Playmaker. Quote, SEC, what you got? Close quote. And I said, until I see someone look better than Georgia, ... Then Playmaker says, and you call yourself a Longhorn. I said, I am a Longhorn. I just don't suck the Longhorns. And then in big, bold letters, he says, you quote, you're a phony. Texas this and Texas that, but I'm picking Georgia to win. Close quote.
I was marking you.
I know you were mocking me, but I took
I
it as
I ain't never said I was picking Georgia.
Oh, I know you were mocking me, but I'm taking it as you picked Georgia with this.
you try. You try. I was like, I have never said who I'm picking. I took what you said and I flipped it on you. But now you trying to flip it back on me. That ain't gonna work. I ain't never said who I was picking.
Yes.
I never said who I was picking.
There's words that says that comes from Playmaker says I'm picking Georgia to win in bold letters.
You know what the problem is?
What's the problem?
He will win the argument because I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to put quotation marks in there.
Exactly. That's the reason why I'm coming at your neck like that, because I didn't see I did not see quotations. I knew you were mocking me, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him on the show, because I'm thinking he's not gonna pick them, but he typed, I'm picking Georgia to win, mocking me, and didn't put quotes on it. Beautiful. Got him. Oh, sorry. Got him.
He didn't know I was picking Texas. He probably thought I was gonna pick somebody else.
If I thought you were going to pick someone else besides Georgia, I would have leaned Alabama for you. If you were going to pick someone else, I would have leaned that there. Then Texas. I would think. To me, I would think you would be. To me, I was thinking Alabama, then Texas, then Georgia. That's what I would think. But thank you for the love. It's not that I hate Texas, or that I don't think they have what it takes to do it. I just need to see them actually win a big game on the big stage, and they haven't done it yet. Not in recent memory. And no, don't give me they won the quarterfinal game against Arizona State. That's a big game.
No, I'm not gonna give you that.
No.
We're talking SEC, and you're on to against,
No.
and you're on to against the Georgia Bulldogs. So
No.
I'd have been every right to pick Georgia to win. But I'm saying, you know what, Steve Sarkisian, I'm gonna give you this opportunity.
So I'm like, no.
I'm gonna give you this opportunity, Steve Sarkisian. You got Arch Manning. He's a Heisman candidate already. He only took like a handful of snaps last year, but he's a Heisman candidate already.
Yeah.
You know, you faced Georgia twice. You lost both times. You actually paid him better. You actually paid him better in Atlanta than you did in Austin.
Yeah, playing a better in the SEC championship game than in Austin,
which is ironic within itself.
So yeah, that's where I am. I mean, they had two cracks. They had two cracks against.
You get to go to Athens and you get to feel that vibe.
And then if you survive that win or loss, you actually might see them again 3 weeks later in Atlanta for the SEC championship game for the second straight year. But I think they can run the table with the rest of the schedule. To me, to be the three biggest games that they must win, because I don't think they're gonna let down at home against A&M, because that rivalry game is just too big and the hatred is too strong. They must show their might against Oklahoma. That's a must, because that is their number one rival. They must beat Ohio State. Have a good showing in the horseshoe. They must beat Ohio State, and they must beat Georgia. They had 3 cracks at those 2 teams, and they were 0-3. And I cannot, in my right mind, as much as I love the burnt orange and white, say that they are the best team in the Southeastern Conference. Can't say that yet. Why? It says, Lord. Lord. Give them a break. I think he meant to give. Give them a break. They only faced just one of the best running backs in college football last year. Oh, he also said, go Vols, and my pick is the Gators. That's a lie! Because I already know he does know college football. I know he's not picking the Gators. But
I ain't even picked the Gators.
And yeah, you're a Gators fan. But the reason and rationale as to why I am not picking Texas, I need to see them beat Georgia, and they need to rule the SEC. They need to rule it.
If they go 0-4 against Georgia, oh my gosh, I might just have to stay in the background for the entire show.
And unfortunately, they still might give Texas a playoff bid. I'm like, what? They don't deserve it. They took 2 L's to Georgia last year, then they'll take 2 L's to them this year, and you award the playoff spots because they ran the table the rest of the way. Hogwash.
And you get on me about my liberty. You lose to one team.
Oh, no. Don't you
dare. Lose to one team.
Oh, no. Your Liberty are the defending WNBA champions.
Who got beat by 16 by the Kinetic Sun?
Your Liberty is the defending WNBA champions. The Longhorns
to the bottom team.
Your Liberty are the defending WNBA champions. The Longhorns are the defending what? They ain't the defending SEC champs.
They were going to stay first year.
The only thing they can hang their hat on is they won 2 playoff games. One of them was gift wrapped for them.
And show the world that, hey, they can hang. Actually, they can actually hang in the SEC.
Yes, they can hang. But
that was the big question going in. Can Oklahoma and Texas actually hang in the SEC? Are they ready for this type of schedule? Well, Texas showed up. Oklahoma didn't.
But okay, so all right, yay! I'm all right. The participation trophy for Texas, yes, they can hang in the SEC.
It was the first year. You act like this is supposed to walk in and take over.
They showed they can hang with the big dogs. Oh, they did wonderful. Yeah, they dog walked Florida. Oh, they treated A&M like rag dolls. Oh, it was great. They treated Oklahoma like a tissue you blow your nose on. Oh, they did wonderful. Please. They're having national championship aspirations, and now they have a Heisman Trophy candidate. national championship or bust. And I have not seen anything from the Longhorns that says to me they are national championship ready.
So who has the overarching standard now? National
Really?
championship or bust?
Yes,
When the last time y'all won a national championship?
2005. But what I'm saying to you is, and the last time they actually fought for one was 2009. But what I am saying to you is you have a team in Georgia that doesn't rebuild, they reload.
I know.
And they have been multiple time back-to-back SEC champions for a reason.
As a matter of fact, the reigning defending national champions, if I remember correctly, they ain't even win their conference. So you don't have to win the conference to be a national champion.
No, you don't. But unfortunately for the Longhorns, they need to. Yes, Arch, not Archie wise. Correct. If we're talking about Archie, he's 80. Oh, he also says, keep my liberty out of this.
Your liberty.
That is, well, this is a New Yorker you're talking about.
I know. I'm messing with him.
Uh,
He doesn't have a show to talk about the liberty. That's why.
But that is the Playmaker. He seems to want to talk about the Brooklyn Liberty every chance he gets.
And it's not Brooklyn, it's New York. Get it right.
He said, put some respect on my man's name. I did. Arch Manning is a Heisman Trophy candidate. Now, will the proof be done on the field? We'll see from late August until hopefully the middle of January. But I'm not angry that you picked the Longhorns.
You surprised that I picked the Longhorns?
I'm mildly surprised you picked the Longhorns because I thought you would actually go either Georgia or Alabama before Texas. But
Kalen the boy got to show me something this year.
And I agree with you. I agree with you. But
even though I'm the one who said take year one as it is,
right. But I need to see Texas do it.
And that's what I'm doing with your Longhorns. I took year one as it is. Okay, you showed me something.
I need the Longhorns to show me that they can not just hang. They need to actually go into Athens later in the year and early in the year, go to Columbus and beat these teams. Otherwise, they will not be taken seriously. Like, oh yeah, they look good. Steve Sarkisian, he's a wonderful coach, but when the opponent is a fellow blue blood. Watch what happens if they take an L in Columbus.
If they take an L in Columbus, that won't be surprising.
Surprising, no. Embarrassing, yes. Because
I don't even think it'll be embarrassing.
Yes, it'll be embarrassing. They're ranked the number one team in the country.
And this is the problem that we have with preseason polls.
Yes.
You had the reigning defending national champion at home, and you're gonna make them the number 2 team and not the number 1 team.
And I think that's disrespectful. And that should give Ohio State an extra boost to beat Texas. I agree with you there.
Like, come on now. Let's be
But if you're gonna carry the number 1 ranking, you got to show me number 1 in the country effort.
They can do that and still get they behind kicked by Ohio State.
I don't think so.
Cause you know why? Cause that is the Ohio State University.
No. I don't.
Unless your name is Michigan, you don't beat Ohio State in a horseshoe.
No. I don't think so. You got to come out with a W in the horseshoe. You must come out with a W in the horseshoe.
I disagree.
Otherwise, you are playing behind the 8 ball, and you have to run the SEC table, including winning the SEC championship game to boot. To have any concentrated shot at the national championship. Because I guarantee you, an L in Columbus, an L in Athens, and an L in Atlanta basically will mean bye Texas, no national championship.
Okay, that's 3 L. We're talking about 1.
Again, an L in Columbus, an L in Athens, and an L in Atlanta.
And we're talking about against the reigning defending national champions at that.
Once again, an L in Columbus, an L in Athens, and an L in Atlanta. Bye Longhorns, no national championship because you won't be in the playoff.
They'll be in the playoffs.
Not with 3 losses and 2 of them against Georgia.
We have a 12-team playoff. You really think they're gonna let
And
off if they only lost to Georgia and Ohio State?
yes,
Wins in Florida, wins over Oklahoma, wins
And?
over LSU.
and
Basically, when you win a conference game, you basically won 2 games. That's how they treat the SEC.
so what?
Even though they shouldn't treat them like that, but that's the way it is.
So what? There'll be one team where they have that double wins 12 or 13 times.
So they'll look at Texas record and be like, oh, 10-3? Oh, y'all basically 30-5. Y'all get in.
No. Let's see 3 L's. And 2 of them against 2 of the teams that I know that we will see in the playoff. Because we'll see Ohio State in the playoff, and we'll talk about the Big Ten later. And we will see Georgia in the playoff.
Y'all lost to Georgia twice, and y'all still made it. And it wasn't even. And it
That's
wasn't
because
even
that was the only 2 L's they had. And on top of it, that was only 2 L's they had, and they actually ended up having the largest at large. I will give you credit there. They ain't having that. Not this year. If they have 3 L's, 2 of them against.
If Michigan returns to being Michigan, if Florida actually lives up to the hype, if these other teams actually do what people think they do, then yeah, you have a point. But what does that tell me?
Exactly.
I don't see Michigan coming back. And Florida, they my Gators, and I'm just like, I got to see it first. We finished strong, but we still got the number 1 schedule.
And you talk about me, Playmaker.
I'm not the one going.
How dare you?
I'm not the one going. I'm not the one going 8 brought over Texas, though. Jeez.
Yes. An L in Columbus, an L in Athens, and an L in Atlanta. Because let's be honest. Georgia and Texas, those to me are the 2 best teams in the SEC. I think won't you agree?
And that's how I can figure they're not going to get left out of the playoffs, no matter what happens.
Unless
they just collapse.
If they go 0-2 against Georgia again, but you add an L in Columbus, yes, I don't see them.
No, they're not. They will be in the playoffs.
How? 0-3.
Who gonna take their spot?
Any team like Oregon. Oh, I don't know.
Oregon already in there.
I don't know, like Alabama. They weren't in there last year.
Alabama, they gonna find a way to choke some way. Just like they did at Oklahoma.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Pick any of the Big 12 schools. I don't know.
You notice the difference? Alabama had losses to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. Y'all had no business losing to those games. Texas will lose to Georgia and the reigning defending national champion. Respectable losses versus what the hell was y'all doing?
Respectable multiple losses. And respectable multiple losses to one team.
And then
two boot.
And then versus what in the hell is y'all doing?
And that's what they be saying about Texas. What in the world is you doing?
That's what you gonna be saying.
You can dog walk every other team, but if the team is top 5, you can't do crap against them.
That's what
y'all just paper champions. Bump that and bump Arch Manning being the Heisman Trophy winner.
That's you. The comedian. Like,
no, that's not me, sir. That is exactly what will happen.
No, that is you.
Arch Manning will not win the Heisman Trophy
I don't think he won it anyway.
If Texas goes into that weekend with 3 losses.
If they lose 4 games, then yeah.
If they lose 3,
they lose 3, they getting in.
No, they ain't.
Because ain't no other team outside of the SEC that can have 3 losses ain't gonna get in over Texas. Let's just be honest. There's no other team.
The Big Ten and Notre Dame. Yeah.
First of all, if you're not Ohio State, if you're not Michigan, if you're not Penn State, and if you're not Oregon,
that's 4.
Them 14 is gonna get in regardless. Because
that's
they
4 right there, right?
But those 4 are getting in automatically. So that's 4 spots right there. We still got 8 spots to go.
One will be taken up by a Big 12 champion. One will be taken up by an ACC champion. So that's 6.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Georgia. More than likely. Georgia or Texas that would take it. Say that Georgia is the SEC champion. That's 7.
That's 7 right there. And then you have the Group of 5 champions.
Oh yeah, and then you have the Group of 5 champion. That's 8. So you're saying that out of the other 4,
Yeah, 3 spots.
out of the other 4,
Well, we already got the Big Ten out the way. We already gave them their 4 spots.
yeah,
You already know the SEC is getting at least at minimum 2 of the other 3 spots remaining. One's gonna be Texas. The ACC and the Big 12, they ain't gonna get another team in there unless they have a ridiculous, crazy season. There's no way they're gonna leave Texas out unless Texas just absolutely collapse.
If Texas
Like Alabama did.
If Texas have 2 or less losses, they'll be in the playoffs. But I do not see them winning. I do not see them being in the playoff, losing 3, and 2 of them are to Georgia.
I'm telling you.
And the other one happens to be against.
That means
Ohio
somebody else has to have a stellar season.
because that community be like, well, yeah, you all know how to do other games, and you all do well, but you lost. You took an L more than likely to the Big Ten champion, and you took 2 L's more than likely to the SEC champion.
That's like your only losses you're in. Who else gonna take their spot?
3 L's.
Who else gonna take their spot?
It don't matter. It's 3 L's. 3 losses.
But you have to tell me somebody that's gonna have an outstanding season that should not have an outstanding season to take that spot.
Probably Colorado.
Colorado's better win the Big 12.
I'm not really sold on them winning the Big 12. But I'm not thinking they're going to be a horrible team. But I see a team like them just coming from out of nowhere, and
I like Coach Prime, and I actually picked Coach Prime to win the Big 12. But
I love Coach Prime too. But I see that. I see something like that happening. Wow, it would be great to see Colorado, like a Cinderella like Colorado, come in there. But we already know what Texas is and is not. They are not a big-time team. They had 3 primetime games. They sucked all 3. We ain't putting them in the playoff.
They going to put them in. Texas getting in because they're Texas. That's like Notre Dame's going to get in because they're Notre Dame.
And Alabama was the Crimson Tide, and last year they didn't sniff the playoff.
Well, you shouldn't have lost. You shouldn't have took your ass on Oklahoma and have everybody scratching their head like, how in the hell did you want to get beat 24-3?
I get that too, but still,
y'all won't have head-scratching losses.
2 L's. 2 L's. No, well, 3 L's. 3 L's they had. Did not make it. Because the other L was against LSU. 3 L's.
You lost to Vanderbilt.
And?
You lost to Tennessee. And you lost to Oklahoma.
We lost to LSU. But
no, they didn't. I don't even think. No, they actually beat LSU that year.
I thought they.
No, they beat LSU. They beat LSU last year.
No, I thought they lost LSU. I thought it was like it was an overtime game.
No, that was the year before.
No. The year before that was
that was the year before because they beat Nick Saban.
No. Odd years they play in Tuscaloosa. Even years they play in Baton Rouge.
The one that you thinking of, they beat Nick Saban that year. That was against Nick Saban.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right.
That was against Nick Saban. I remember.
Okay. But still, 3 L's.
Y'all won't have head-scratching losses.
3 L's.
Them as a committee would look at it like
3 L's.
They play quality opponents. They lost some, they won some. You put them in.
3 L's. Alabama, one of the biggest blue bloods there is in the entire country. 3 L's.
3 L's because they lost.
Did they sniff the
They
playoff?
lost to a 7-6 team, and they lost to a 6-7 team.
Playmaker. Did they?
They just don't see what you just saying 3 L's, 3 L's.
Year.
The committee looks at everything. Not only did you have 3 L's, who did you lose?
Did they sniff the playoffs last year?
Yeah,
that's the only question I have to ask. Did in 2024 the Crimson Tide sniff the playoffs last year? The answer is no.
Yes, the answer is yes,
because they played a crappy bowl game and took an L to Michigan.
They ain't played a crappy bowl game. They played actually a decent bowl game.
Okay,
it was a decent bowl game. Trust me. If your bowl game is on New Year's, you're playing a decent bowl game.
ReliaQuest Bowl. They went to a crappy bowl and took an L.
They went to a decent bowl game. Hell, to you, all the bowl games crappy if ain't the playoffs.
You doggone right. That's why I'm saying it. They went to a crappy bowl game and took an
Your
L.
biasness right here.
Bias.
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't hate Alabama, but they went
But
to a crappy ball game and they took an L to Michigan.
What you're doing, you're just saying, oh, they had 3 losses. You're not looking at who they lost to. The committee looks at who you lost to, not just.
Okay, fine. They lost to a crappy Vanderbilt team. They lost to an even crappier Oklahoma team, and they lost to a Tennessee squad that was decent, and they ran out of gas.
And now compare your 3 L's.
Still 3 L's in the SEC they took.
Yeah, and all of them was conference games. You talking
and
about,
they did not sniff.
And you talking about a loss
the playoff
at the national champions, which nobody would be mad about except for you.
I'll be angry because
you'll be the only one angry. You'll be the only one angry because like
they are ranked number 1 and they have a Heisman Trophy candidate.
They
need to beat Ohio State.
I don't care. They ranked number 1. Y'all went to the national champions place. Y'all got beat. I don't see the real problem with that.
Here's the problem.
You think the Champions finna lose they next game at home after being crowned champions? No.
Here's the problem. They will be fighting an uphill battle the rest of the year.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will. They'll be fighting an uphill battle the rest of the year.
Texas will be fine.
Texas will be fine, Mike.
Texas will be fine.
I'm trying my best to not curse.
But you trying to be so. What's the word I'm looking for? You trying to make them so freaking perfect.
Well, if they're ranked number 1 going into the season,
me and you both said them preseason.
Yes, I know. They should start ranking them in November. I will stand by that too. However, since the system is the way it is now, if you're going to be ranked number 1, basically it's saying that you are the best team in the country and you need to run the table. And I don't give a crap if it is the defending national champion in their building. You need to hang an L against them in Columbus.
That's not happening.
That is what needs to happen.
That's not happening.
That is what needs to happen.
You will be just fine with the results.
I will not be just fine with the results because it will show that they played this team in January, it took an L, and they played this team 7 months later and took another L. So that means they can't play against the big dogs.
You would be just fine. Texas will be in the playoffs.
Texas will not be in the playoffs
unless they choke the season away, which I don't see them doing.
Texas will not be in the playoffs if they play like poop butts. And they have to beat Ohio State. They must beat Georgia in Athens. Now, if those 2 things happen and they aren't the SEC champion and Georgia comes back and beats them there, then I will say, okay, 1 loss. They lost the SEC championship game. They do belong in the playoff.
No, they lose to Ohio State. You're going to come back the very next week and say, they don't belong in the playoffs. I'm like,
don't see them. That's right. Don't see them.
Season just started.
Don't see them. That's
right.
The
season just started. And they're going to go off and rip off about 7 in a row. Play Georgia.
And I'll still say don't see them.
Play Georgia. Probably lose because it's in Athens.
Don't see them. I will say if Texas comes with an L, comes back to Austin with an L, I will say, yes, I will get on these airwaves and I will say National Collegiate Association of Athletes Committee, do me a favor. Do not seed Texas in the playoff. They don't belong. They don't deserve it. Because
they are not going perfect. They're not going undefeated.
Because they cannot beat a big-time school.
They're not going undefeated. When the last time you had an undefeated champion?
They cannot beat a big-time school.
Again, when was the last time you saw an undefeated champion?
LSU 2019. I will say.
How many years are we talking?
That's 6, but they cannot beat a big time school. Oh, take that back. No, fast forward. Michigan 2 years ago, they cannot beat a big time school.
Michigan did go undefeated, didn't they?
Yeah, they cannot beat a big time school. They have trouble beating Ohio State. They have trouble beating Georgia. They have trouble beating Ohio State. They have trouble beating Georgia. It doesn't matter where they play Georgia. They play them in Austin, they take an L. They play them in Athens, they take an L. They play them in Atlanta and take an L.
Your team is not going to be perfect.
Do not seed them. Do not rank them. Punish them and put them in the Relia Quest Bowl. or
See,
the
this
Pop
what
Tarts Bowl,
you know what's gonna happen.
or the Sun Bowl,
He want Texas to go perfect and then watch them lose in the national championship game. Then he gonna be all mad like what?
or the Gator Bowl. Put them in all those. Put or what?
We have a 12-team playoff system.
Or the
So it is
Tennessee
to
Bowl.
get in
Put
the
them in one of those
playoffs.
crappy bowls, but not in the playoffs because they don't deserve it.
You is so
So,
pessimistic. It's unbelievable. It's
so
unbelievable.
NCAA committee, should Texas lose to Ohio State,
This is
do
the
not seed them.
same Cole Johnson
Do not
who
in
wants to
3
tell
plus
me to
months
calm
time.
down because
Do
I
not
can't
seed
get
them.
mad about the New York Liberty losing to Connecticut.
Do
Of
not
all teams.
do not in 3+ months time come to me and say that team in Austin in the burnt orange and white deserve to have a playoff spot because they cannot beat the big ones. They can't.
And you
beat
don't
Georgia.
even act
They
like this
can't
with the
beat
Houston Texans.
I somewhat do, but
What is up
this
with you and Texas got to be perfect?
because
The
if
Houston, you don't treat the Houston Whites like they need to be perfect.
Here's why. Here's why they need to be perfect. The flyer out on them is okay. They make a lot of money. They're one of the big programs. I mean, they're up there in money in terms of Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Alabama. They are the big time school when it comes to money. But on the field, they have come up shorter than mini-me. It is time for them to stop coming up shorter than mini-me, and they need to beat Ohio State and Georgia. And I'm glad that both of these games are in away. I'm glad that they play Ohio State is in Columbus. I'm glad when they do play Georgia next time around, it is in Athens because they got to prove that they can beat those teams in their home stadium. They don't have the issue with Ohio State doing the same to Texas, nor with Georgia. That is why Texas needs to be perfect because they need to show they can hang with the big dogs and beat them, especially beat them in their own crib. Otherwise, NCAA committee, do not seed them. If they lose to Ohio State, do not seed them. Do not seed them in the playoffs. Put them in the Alamo Bowl.
You worse than Lakers fans right now.
No, Lakers fan is they win in every game and they win a championship, and they have 15 Bronny James on the team. That's Lakers. That's Lakers fan.
I ain't say LeBron James fan. I say Lakers fans.
No. I didn't say LeBron James. They can have 15 Bronny James on the squad, and they'd say the Lakers are going to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. I'm not saying they're going to hold that cylinder. I'm saying, hold that. I don't know. Hold that. That white gold and gold cylinder. I'm saying that Texas needs to be perfect because they have, unfortunately, run into times where they don't measure up. And last year, wonderful example, when they went to the big house and dog walked Michigan, people were saying that Michigan was going to beat the brakes off Texas.
I don't know what people you listen to.
ESPN, CBS Sports,
I ain't
Fox
even hear
Sports.
ESPN because the game day crew, they picked Texas.
No. Game day crew, most of them picked Michigan in that game.
They picked Texas.
And they were in. I
don't count Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee like to pick home teams because he's in that city.
I was like, they were in the big house, and most of them picked Michigan. That's what I'm saying. The national reputation of Texas is okay. They talk a big game, but let's see what they can do when the ammo's firing. Let's see what they do then. It's time for when the ammo's fire, they kick in the high gear and bury teams like Ohio State and Georgia in the doggone dirt.
Your Longhorns will be fine. They'll be in the playoffs. I'm telling you this. They're going to be in the playoffs.
The Longhorns will not be fine if they cannot.
Now, how far did they get in the playoffs? I can't say, but they'll be in the playoffs.
I don't give a crap if they get in the playoffs. They won't be fine because they don't know how to beat teams like Georgia and Ohio State yet. And until that happens, they're going to be second rate. And yes, this is coming from a Longhorns fan, and I am saying this, and I don't give a crap if Longhorn fan comes after my neck. Come, Longhorns fan, I dare you. I'll just hold 2005, and that's the last time we have sniffed a championship. We are second rate because they think we come after Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama and even now Notre Dame, for God's sake, and Oregon. They don't think that we rank above them yet. And they need to rank alongside them if they stand a chance of being a national championship contender. So the Longhorns will not be fine if they come out of Columbus and go back to Austin with their tail between their legs and a foot shoved behind that's scarlet and silver.
You is terrible. Jeez.
How am I terrible?
So now I know your number one team is the Texas Longhorns because that's the team you need them to be perfect. Everybody, all the other teams don't need to be perfect.
Okay. All right, let's run it down. The Rockets will never be perfect. They're hot garbage, and they seem to have a kryptonite called the Golden State Warriors. The Astros, that's the best team in Houston, going right now, and they've given me multiple championships in the past 10 years. You have the Texans, who they seem to be stuck on 10-7, and they have an issue, and they have the same issues as the Longhorns. They could play those teams pretty tough, but if they're wearing a Ravens uniform, a Chiefs uniform, or a Bills uniform, forget it. L's are coming. Yes, and don't give me that. Well, the Texans beat the Bills last year. Yes, I know, but still, 31-2.
Coach Johnson did not have a great Christmas. Okay,
31-2. How in the world you only get a safety with Beyonce performing on the field at halftime? 31-2. So then we come to the Longhorns. They need to be perfect. They need to run the table. Because one L would mean that they don't belong at the big table. Think of it this way.
What's the use of going undefeated and losing the national championship? Because you was gonna say the same thing.
No, I won't. Here's why. 2009 was a prime example. So they pretty much did go undefeated and go into the national championship game, and unfortunately, Colt McCoy went down the first quarter, and that pretty much was the game. Mark Ingram just ran all over him in a Rose Bowl. I would say they gave it their best shot. It sucks that they lost, but they lost to the better team, even with the injury to my starting quarterback. I would say that if the similar situation would happen, and I'm not praying that Arch Manning gets injured, if the same scenario would happen, they go undefeated.
That's my future quarterback.
If they run the table and they go all the way to the national championship and they lose the game, and Arch Manning goes out, I would say, oh, man, that was a tough way to go out. It sucks. They had a really good season, but they lost to the better team. That I'll guarantee you that is what I will say. But I will not say that when they have an opportunity to beat Ohio State in Columbus, an opportunity to beat Georgia in Athens, and possibly an opportunity to beat Georgia again 50 miles southwest 3 weeks later, and they take 3 L's. Because they would deserve to not sniff, to not even talk about, to not even fantasize, to not even masturbate about a playoff bid.
I got to deal with this all season when it comes to your Longhorns.
31-2. It would be like that, yes.
Oh, Lord. And I'm the one who picked the Longhorns to win the conference.
Again, I'm a Longhorns fan. I need to see more out of them. I need to see if they can be the big dogs in the SEC. I need to see that. And I need to see if they actually can have a shot at being a national champion. And the only way they could do that is if they take care of business in Columbus and shut people up and shove it down their throats that, yes, Ohio State's a great team and they're the defending national champions, but they don't measure up against Texas. They need to show that. And if they don't show that, if they don't show that they have the balls to do that, they're going to treat this team like Texas as paper champions. They just are.
That's 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Let me see which way I'm going to pick. That should be a very interesting pick for me. But that's 3 weeks from now. Next week, the All Coast Conference. I mean, the Atlantic Coast Conference. We'll be talking about the Fighting Dabos.
Not the Fighting Dabos.
You the one started it.
Yes. Flying Dabos and the school that gets supported by Ron DeSantis. Because he wants to sue on their behalf.
So yeah. Will Miami look like Miami?
And yes, and it's the conference where they're crossing their fingers and hoping that North Carolina doesn't jump and go to the SEC.
Chapel Bill!
They might be going south.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Bill Belichick and his opening tenure at North Carolina.
Chapel Bill.
I did that because of you.
I know you did.
That's next week.
Bill.
So if you're an ACC person, tune into this one next week. Same time, same 2 people. The Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, you might as well call them All Coast now. Because then you got California and Stanford. And they're nowhere in the Atlantic Conference. I'm nowhere near the Atlantic Coast.
That's Cole Johnson on the Playmaker. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube. If you're watching on LinkedIn or X, head over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. If you want to follow the podcast when it is not live and listen to the audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and how Cole Johnson like to say it, everywhere you can find podcasts.
That's right. Everywhere you can find podcasts. Texas, go undefeated.
Deuces.